The Jefferson Monticello. Hemp. Okay, this is the official record of how hemp was being used by President Jefferson. Hemp, along with flax and cotton, was primarily used for making clothing at Monticello. Enslaved laborers cultivated hemp both at Monticello and Poplar Forest, Jefferson's plantation in Bedford County, Virginia. Documentary references. Undated. Hemp, plow the ground for it in the fall and very deep. If possible, plow it through in February before you sow it, which should be in March. A hand can tend 3 acres of hemp a year. Tolerable ground yields 500 pounds to the acre. You may generally count on 100 pounds for every foot of hemp is over 4 feet high. A hand will break 60 to 70 pounds a day, and even to 150 pounds if it is divided with an overseer. Divided as it is prepared. Seed. To make hemp seed, make hills of the form and size of a cucumber hill, from 4 feet to 6 feet apart, in proportion to the strength of the ground. Prick about a dozen seeds into each hill in different parts of it. When they come up, thin them to 2. As soon as the male plants have shed their farina, cut them up that the whole nourishment may go to the female plants. Every plant thus ended with yield a quart of seeds, a bushel of good brown seeds, and enough for an acre. 1774, December 29th. Wrote to Tom Stewart of Augusta for 10 bushels of flaxseed and 10 dew of hemp seeds. Wrote to James Black for 100 pounds hemp seed dressed for spinning. Never sent them. 1781. Plants. Useful for fabrication. Virginia hemp. Agnita cannabina. Tobacco, hemp, flax, and cotton are staple commodities. During this time, the Revolutionary War, we have manufactured within our families the most necessary articles of clothing. Those of cotton will bear some comparison with the same kinds of manufacturer in Europe, but those of wool, flax, and hemp are very coarse, unsightly, and unpleasant. Besides these Arabian horses, there will be other valuable substitutes when the cultivation of tobacco shall be discontinued, such as cotton in the eastern parts of the state and hemp and flax in the western. 1781. Other losses by the British in 1781. 250 pounds of hemp in the house, 250 pounds dew growing. 1784, August 20th. James Madison to Jefferson. The price of hemp, however, has been reduced as much as that piece as that of tobacco has been raised. being sold, I am told, as low as 20 per count beyond the mountains. (1790) July 4th. Jefferson to Nicholas Lewis. Nicholas Lewis was a farmer friend of his. For this purpose, he had to avoid spending farm income at these stores. It is vastly desirable to be getting underway with our domestic cultivation and manufacture of hemp, flax, cotton, wool, and wool for the Negroes. September 23rd, memorandum for Manoah Clarkson, Monticello overseer. 10 the next year, 2 acres of hemp on east side of river and 1,000 cotton hills for every working hand. All right, and on June 30th of 1793, Jefferson wrote to Thompson Man Randolph. Jefferson's plans for his farm include the following ballot articles: hemp, turnips, pumpkin, and the new clearing. In 1769, on August 23rd, gave Page to buy hemp seeds. Okay, this is going on and on and on. Each one of these lists of hemp being exchanged, being grown, record of how it was used. In some of these, it was payment for other things. Hemp should be immediately prepared and sent to them, the spinners, at work, and a supply be kept up. We consider a sheep for every person in a family is sufficient to clothe it, in addition to the cotton, hemp, and flax which we raise ourselves. Okay, and that's what Thomas Jefferson wrote to John Adams. Now, hemp was used to make clothes. Hemp was used in particular to make clothes for enslaved individuals. And the Monticello also keeps a record of that. And I'm going to just scroll through here so that in your own time you can go back and pause the video and read. Now this is the Monticello site, the Jefferson Monticello site, website, that keeps the official history of President Thomas Jefferson. Look for further references to Hemp and Jefferson Farm book. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Gallery. Okay. Sally Hemings was the famous enslaved woman that Jefferson was having an affair with, had all them kids with. Now, this is the record. She amongst other duties, one of her duties was a seamstress. So she sewed clothes for the enslaved people. Okay. Her duties, Sally Hemings' duties, is highlighted right here, included a nursemaid companion to Jefferson's daughter, Maria, lady's maid to daughters Martha and Maria, and a chambermaid and seamstress. Okay? Alright. So this is also on Monticello.org. This is talking about, okay. Among the enslaved domestic servants were 4 boys: Joseph Fawcett, Warmly Hughes, Burrow Colbo, and Brown Colbert, who ranged in age from 9 to 14. In quality and cost, their clothing ranking below that of adults, but was superior to that of a majority of the fellow enslaved individuals. Instead of Irish lining for shirts, the boys received on Osnaburg an unbleached lined hemp fabric. Okay? So Osnaburg is an unbleached linen hemp fabric. Then for that outerwear, they received a more costly fabric called bearskin, a durable, napped woolen that was, according to Jefferson's note, blue in color. Since they were the only individuals used in particular fabric, issued this particular fabric, that clothing would be giving them a visual identity as boys. Okay, so Jefferson wanted his enslaved people to be coded. Like, he gave them, the ones that worked outside wore different clothes from the ones that worked inside. Okay, and then he also divided them up, made different clothes for them based on age and based on gender. So the girls wore stripes and flowers, like that clothes was glossy, and they wore stripes and flowers, and the boys didn't. These particular boys between 9 and 14 had blue clothes, shirts made of hemp, okay? That's because they were the ones on the inside, and when they worked outside, they wore bearskin because it's more durable, because they only got clothes once a year. This hemp and stuff that was being grown, it wasn't just grown for enslaved individuals, okay? It was grown to sell and trade amongst other folk, okay? Business to business, selling it to market, trading it for other goods. But once a year, enslaved individuals got new clothes, okay? Sally Hemings was one of them that would sew up the clothes for everybody once a year. It would take the raw materials and create clothes for people. And sometimes it'll be fresh linens, and sometimes it'll be like hand-me-downs. It'll be like Jefferson's old pants, or stuff that'll come from other slaves, whatever they could conserve, right? So the least amount of money would be spent on them. But as you can see, the Negroes that was in the house had nicer clothes because they was in the house. They had to be seen, be looked at. And the ones outside, they made sure it was more durable so that it'll last longer.